The Amazon River in South America is the largest river by discharge volume in the world. The Amazon was initially known by Europeans as the Maranon, and the Peruvian part of the river is still known by that name. Kayakers from around the world are drawn to the river's beauty and many challenges. But as we will see from today's case, it is not merely the difficult sections of white water and the mind-numbing distance of more than 4,000 miles which are the biggest dangers. It is not even the river itself, the wild animals or disease. The biggest danger is people. Emma Kelty, aged 43, from Finchley in northwest London, was head teacher of Knowlmead Primary School in Surbiton. Emma was an adventurer by her very nature. She had been only the sixth woman to ski solo to the South Pole and hike 2,600 miles alone across the US. In 2014, after her father sadly passed away, Emma gave up her job and decided to embrace life and travel around the world. Emma had then begun kayaking in February after deciding her next challenge would be to paddle the Amazon from its source in the Peruvian Andes to the Atlantic Ocean. She contacted fellow Londoner Ollie Hunter-Smart, who had paddled the Amazon in 2015 with Tara and Kent Hume. We went for lunch and spent 7 hours in that restaurant talking about this journey, my experience with it, the equipment we took. Hunter-Smart said we talked about the dangers and risks, but also the nice side of things as well. Emma also sought advice from West Hansen, a world-renowned adventurer and explorer and one of only a few people to paddle the Amazon River. Emma asked him about the risks of traveling alone. He didn't mince his words. Picture a world without laws, manners, social morals, or assistance for hundreds of miles. Rape does not exist because there is no reason to report it. Killings are a daily occurrence because bodies are easy to dispose and disappearances are common for innocent reasons, so they are written up as simply that. Hansen wasn't exaggerating. He was held at gunpoint on 5 separate occasions during his 2012 Amazon descent. In fact, every Amazon source-to-sea expedition experienced similar tense encounters with armed pirates, drug runners, and local militias. In 2012, South African adventurer Davy du Plessis was shot 3 times on his Amazon expedition and left for dead. A year earlier, a Polish couple kayaking through the same region were murdered and their bodies hacked to pieces, weighted with rocks and sunk in the river. Emma knew about these attacks and listened carefully and took notes, but in her typical problem-solving mode, she sought a solution. She said, "My current thinking with my can-do hat on, as if I can waylay local fears ahead of my arrival through the use of word of mouth. Perhaps safe passage could be granted." Emma would later tell BBC Surrey that she was totally aware of the risks and had trained in self-defense in London. In consultation with whitewater explorer Rocky Contos, Emma chose the Rio Maranon, a longer river often referred to as the main stem source of the Amazon. Starting there, cut around 400 miles from Emma's route.
Here's Emma Kelty getting ready. Go up to the source of the Amazon. How do you feel here at 3,800 meters elevation?
Quite lightheaded. No, it's really good. I can't wait. Can't wait to actually get up to the top and actually start kayaking down.
How long's your whole journey estimated to take?
About 5-6 months. So yeah, it's a long time.
Well, you got a lot of time, so we'll get going.
She had a 3-person support crew, including a raft and 2 kayakers. However, Emma clashed with her guide when he had her hike a 50-mile section after fearing the rapids were too difficult with her limited skills. Emma spent 45 days descending the Maranon, arriving at Saramariza on July 29th. The next day, she began the 3,000-mile solo and unassisted portion of her trip.
So Santa Maria, Nevada is approaching quite soon, and I have to say that it's been quite a settled last couple of days. My journey of being with the group is near to an end, and about 3 days now, I think, 3, maybe 4 days, and then I'll start my journey on my own, being solo. And I have to say that I'm really looking forward to it. I've been with a group now for a good 6 weeks, and I'm ready, most definitely, to be solo. As you know, I'm a solo girl, and so therefore, being as part of a group on such an adventure has been great. But it's time for me to have my solo time.
Emma's guide, Rocky, said he tried to warn her of the dangers she faced, but that she was determined to continue alone. I told her there are people there who have no regard for life. There are many cases of people being robbed and shot. There had been unsettling moments already in Emma's trip, particularly since crossing the border into Brazil's Amazonas state. On the 22nd of August, she told followers how she had paddled hard upstream to reach a beach to rest, only to find a man waving a machete and ravens eating whatever he had killed. Emma said, "As I paddled hard away, I could hear his shouts." In the following days, she complained of broken sleep, interrupted by strangers. She wrote, "Getting more tired every day. Let's hope I don't get any more guys returning to visit me after dark tonight." 3 days later, after a great welcome and day and night in Sao Paulo de Olivenca, she reported that 2 men pitched up in a boat close to where she had stopped and just stayed there for 2 hours, stopping her from changing. She said, "And yes, I did try to engage, but they were the silent type." On the 28th of August, she said she was officially beyond tiredness, adding that every night there had been a torchbearer and walker who came to her tent. When Emma was left alone by strangers, she fought tent-bending storms and 85% humidity. Yet there were also moments of tranquility which Emma had craved so much when embarking on her solo adventure. Emma said, "The last couple of days paddling was just what I imagined it to be. Now I am sitting on my private beach in the sun, so quiet and just perfect." In late August, dreadful news filtered out of the jungle. One of the guides who had traveled with Emma on the lower part of the Maranon heard by word of mouth that she had been murdered. The report seemed credible, and the guide relayed the news to Emma's brother in England. At the same time, he sent a message via her Garmin InReach satellite messenger. After several fraught hours, she texted back. She wrote, "Let's hope it's not a premonition." 2 weeks later, she entered the most dangerous part of the danger zones, a section of the Amazon near the town of Kayaker. As she approached this stretch, Emma typed an update into her InReach communicator, which was linked to her Facebook page. She wrote, "So, in or near Kayaker, I will have my boat stolen and I will be killed too." Nice. The post seemed to be in response to a warning, but from whom it is not clear. The stretch of river from Tefe to just below Kayaker is a funnel for drug traffic. Here the river narrows, providing ample places for smugglers and the river pirates. No one travels alone through these parts. Even the Navy patrol boats travel in pairs. It was one of these islands that Emma set up her tent on the evening of September the 13th. The previous day, she had tweeted about passing 30 or more men with guns and arrows. She wrote, "Turned corner and found 50 guys in motorboats with arrows. My face must have been a picture. Town was uber quiet." Okay, 30 guys, but either way, that's a lot of folks in one area with arrows and guns. The scare, however, didn't last. The next morning, she posted online about meeting 3 lovely locals and 2 kittens that slept next to her tent for the night. Kayaker was now a few miles behind her. and those watching her progress felt that she was now past the danger zone. She didn't know that the island she chose to camp on that evening is a frequent stopping point for Colombian drug traffickers. Later in the day, on the banks of the Solomos River, Emma triggered a distress signal. Reports of the murder are vague and contradictory, as there is only the testimony of the accused killers and those that they bragged to afterwards. A 17-year-old suspect arrested in Codajas said they approached Emma on Boyivo Island facing the town of Lauro Sodra. 7 men arrived and stole Emma's belongings. The gunman then opened fire with a 20-gauge shotgun without warning. Emma was struck twice while still in her tent. She was stabbed and violated, and reports suggest that she was still alive when the murderous 7 men in their teens and early 20s threw her from their boat several hundred meters from the shore. The teenage suspect said the group tried to sell her 2 mobile phones, her tablet computer, and her GoPro camera in local communities. Local authorities had launched a search operation after Emma set off her distress signal, and 60 people, including divers, scoured the riverbed. But police said she was cut near the neck and shoulder as to attract carnivorous piranha fish that would make it easier to get rid of the evidence. Despite the extensive search, Emma's body was not found. Emma's siblings, Piers, Giles, and Natasha, said, "In a world that is today a much smaller place, the explorer and our sister found herself seeking ways to prove that challenges were achievable. We are extremely proud of our sister, who was clearly loved by us all, and her strength will be sorely missed." Arthur Gomes de Silva, the ringleader of the gang of pirates that attacked and killed Emma Kelty, was sentenced to 29 years and 11 months for his role in the crime and convicted of corruption of minors, robbery, homicide, rape, and concealment of a corpse. After going on the run for 5.5 years, Gomes da Silva was finally arrested on the 8th February 2023 while taking his daughter to a children's hospital in Manaus. Police also identified Jardel Pinheiro Gomes, Ernie Ferreira da Silva, Elianai Cordovil da Silva, Ernilson Ferreira da Silva, and Valtimir Andrew de Lima as suspects. Gomes da Silva is the one who raped and killed Emma, the police confirmed. Evanescen Gomes da Costa was killed after the murder of Emma. Da Costa was shot twice in the early hours at his home in Kaori and later died in hospital. The man who shot him was believed to be from a rival gang. They attacked Da Costa because he wanted valuables the gangster had stolen from Emma. To this day, Emma Kelty's body has not been found, and it isn't likely to ever be.